that's not how I expected Final Fantasy XV's second anniversary stream to go down. Shit felt less like a celebrated anniversary and more like the get-together after a funeral. So, we got the DLC for episode Noctis, Luna, and Aranea cancelled. That's just fucking dandy. For one, we're not gonna see a blossoming relationship between Luna and Noctis, which the game desperately needed, by the way, because they had like 3 fucking lines total altogether in the whole game. And even worse than that, we're not gonna be able to see my fucking wife, Aranea, again, and that's just a crime. She deserved way better than this. You deserve better, Aranea. You're a queen. My queen. Jokes aside though, like, we still have episode Ardyn, where we learn about his motivations and his past, and there's also the Final Fantasy XIV crossover with the cute little cat girl. I don't know if she's important or not, but she looks cute, and the DLC looks good. But honestly, even with both of those looking as cool as they are, I just can't see myself getting too hyped for them, you know? With all the DLC that we could have had, we end up with just those two, just But you can't really get mad at it either. Final Fantasy XV's pretty much dead at this point. It's still interesting to hear that the ideas for the scrapped content will still be somewhere. Probably not in game form, but maybe animation or a freaking comic, who knows, but they said the ideas aren't going to go to waste. So there's that. You know, trying to look at the bright side, but in all honesty, I don't know if it's worth it, man. Altogether, this whole situation just looks too familiar. The director, Tabata, he leaves the game, and some new people come in to try and salvage it and make something out of it. It pretty much parallels what happened to Tabata himself between him and Nomura, where Nomura had to go off and finish off Kingdom Hearts 3, and Tabata had to come in and make something out of Final Fantasy Versus. But this time, for one, the people that are coming in, excuse me, I don't remember their names, but the dudes who are taking over for Tabata, they're gonna have a smaller team, because if the DLC episodes were canned to shift focus onto their new AAA title, which it was stated in the stream, that means the majority of the workforce is already working or is moving towards that new title. 2, there's definitely less funding / backing from Square Enix themselves for obvious reasons. And 3, the game is pretty much considered dead, like I said, and not just by the vast majority of consumers, but possibly by Square Enix themselves. This is an all-around shit show for the people who look forward to what the game has to offer and just enjoyed the game overall. They knew the game had potential, it just didn't have a chance to build upon it. Well, that's the legacy of Final Fantasy XV though, and it just feels wrong. Like, think what you must about Tabata. But for what he did, he came in, picked up the pieces of Final Fantasy XV and made something out of it. He should be praised for that. He actually got the game that was never expected to come out, and then tried to make something more of it with DLC after. And honestly, his efforts weren't in vain, because with each DLC, the overall package of Final Fantasy XV got better and better, albeit slowly. But this is me assuming here. Besides the reason that he stated for his departure from Square Enix, I think another reason why he probably left was because he learned that the DLC that he had planned were scrapped. He's always been passionate about Final Fantasy XV, and I'm sure after learning that he couldn't finish up the game to a point where he and the fans could feel somewhat satisfied, he probably felt that leaving was just a better option than staying and getting the obvious backlash for what's about to come out. And that man already knows his fair share of backlash. Damn, 2013, Tabata came in all these years and worked on one game. It's still crazy to think. All that to at least soothe the fans that were eagerly waiting years. And even after that, for the fans that felt burned by the release of the final product. All that just ends like this. DLC cancelled, storylines left unresolved, and as a whole, just a game that has vast potential that was left hollow in the end. I don't mean to end this on a somber note, but it's just how it feels, sadly. So many years looking forward to this game, and even more years after the release, clinging to hope and sounds, so to speak, thinking maybe if they just keep on chipping away at it, adding content whenever they can, in the end the result will be a complete turnaround from what was initially released. But nah, that's too lofty of a dream. I went from a kid in middle school reading a gaming magazine learning about the birth of Final Fantasy Versus 13, to a young adult witnessing it cling to life, and eventually die. Well, that was dark. But it's been your boy AG. We'll see where episode Ardyn goes, and how the Final Fantasy XIV crossover pans out, but I'm not expecting much. But until then, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay golden. Hey, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you look right above me, you can see 2 of my previous videos. So, if you feel like supporting your boy, feel free to check them out. It's okay, take your time. I'll just be right here when you're ready to watch them.